Welcome back for day 3, and I'm excited to get into the content, so let's go ahead and hop in. Now, if you've been through the growth track, you've heard that devotion to Christ is the place where the human heart is most satisfied. And there's a word in this phrase that really is an invitation for us, but it's also a place that requires us to humble ourselves and submit, really to depend on God. And that word and that phrase is devotion. For our hearts to be satisfied, it comes through our devotion to Christ. Personally, since becoming a Jesus follower, I've not always followed well, and it's cost me. Yes, there is a cost for disobedience. I missed out on things in this life, but most importantly, I missed Him. I was not devoted to Him, but instead I found my heart split, desiring many different things. My devotion found its place somewhere else. Yeah, God was a part of my life. I still proclaimed Jesus as Lord, but in my heart I was double-minded. Christ was only a part of my life, but He didn't have the whole of my life. But see, that's not the call of Christ on us as Christians. He calls us to more and tells us to leave everything to follow Him. And this devotion and following Him is where we find satisfaction. Do you know how I know this? It's because the Bible told me so. See, since I've grown in my relationship with God, I have come to recognize and believe that devotion to Christ is the place where the human heart is most satisfied. But satisfaction only comes when I'm totally devoted to Him. Being devoted is not just a decision of the will, but it's the posture of our hearts. So how can we engage our hearts to know God more? Much of it begins by spending time with Him. As we sit in prayer, and He leads us in that space to know Him more, that communication and in fellowship with Him, in His Word, and doing life with His body, the church. I invest myself and devote not just my mind, but the core of my being, my heart, to God for Him to have control of everything. And then I follow Him. Following Him, as really we obey Him, shows that we're ultimately devoted to Him. And it grows my heart in trusting Him as I see Him faithful. I get to experience Him in my life. And this is not always easy. Sometimes it feels like I'm wrestling with God in prayer, knowing what I need to do, yet fighting my inner man. But I want to follow Him, so I'm engaging my heart to come before God, humble myself, and asking Him to lead me and free me and change me so I can submit to Him and obey Him. So I want to encourage you, meet with God. Meet with His church and put all of yourself into knowing God and trust with expectation that God will meet you. You can do it. Put your heart into it. We'll see you in the morning. God bless you.